Welcome to College Admission Secrets. I am Coach Art, and I will be your host for this evening. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. I'm so excited always every week to provide you with some amazing training on all things college admissions. So, hope you guys had an amazing weekend. And what we're going to be talking today is about summer planning for college admission success. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And if you guys can all let me know if you can see it once I share it. So give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up when you can see it. There it is. So if you guys haven't been on before, I'm Coach Art and I love the thumbs ups. So I always love the reactions. Oh my gosh, everybody's giving me thumbs up. And we have now hit over 100. Over 100. That's incredible. That is awesome. So thank you so much. So what do we always do? Couple of things here. If you have any questions, please put it under the Q&A. I will try my best to answer them during at the end of the session. I have a lot of stuff to go through today. So hopefully I can get through it fast. Okay. So I'm going to be going at lightning speed to get through this. There's so many things that you can do during the summer, but try to kind of narrow it down. Okay. But also what I love to do is throughout the time that I'm presenting, if you see something that you feel as though you love, give me a heart. Okay. So let's practice that. Just guys, if you can give me a heart, if you hear anything, awesome, love it. Okay. So if you hear anything that you're like, wow, that was cool, give me a heart. So I know it's kind of a response to me that I'm doing the right thing and giving you the right information. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started here. So we're part of College Admission Secrets, specifically here, UC Admission Secrets. Over the last 15 years, we've connected with over 4,000 families on Instagram, 11,000 families on Facebook, 30,000 families on TikTok. We've gained acceptances for students at all the campuses, all the UC campuses, Ivy Leagues, top 20, 50, 100, what have you. As well as on average, 98% of our coaching families get into their top 10, 93% of them get into our top 5. You can see here is that we've had so much success, not especially with the UCs, but also with so many different types of schools across the country, sometimes even internationally. You can see here UC in Berkeley, USC. This individual made into the BSMD program. Okay. You can see here Rice. Proud moment. I helped Alana, who's a niece of mine, made it into Caltech, as well as you can see here, University of Portland, Mount St. Mary's, Northern Arizona, okay, Chapman University, Pepperdine, San Diego State, all the UCs, of course. This person got USF and got $88,000 worth of scholarships, okay, made it into Purdue, okay, USC again, of course, University of Michigan. So many amazing schools that our students have made it into, and we're just so proud of them. And continually, we love doing this. That is our sole reason. One of the sole reasons why we do this is because we love helping those students get into their dream schools. Now, in this session today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about summer goals to consider. What are some of the things that you should be considering in the summer when you are for your students going into the summertime, what they should be doing. Also, I'm going to go through a month-to-month guideline really briefly. And then also along the way, throughout this presentation, I'm going to be providing with resources to help with your summer planning. Okay. So as we always say, don't listen to strangers online. Okay. So of course, we want to introduce ourselves. Now, my partner in crime, Coach Tony, couldn't be here today. He's hosting another session. So but just to give you a little bit, we're normally on together or we switch off. So Coach Tony, he is the founder of College Admission Secrets. He's also been he was accepted to UCLA, UCI, both with full rides, graduated from UC Berkeley, and he became a reader for Berkeley as well as an outreach director for UCLA. He even founded his own high school. Okay. So he's been doing so much. He's a pioneer in the industry, has been doing this for over 15 years. Introduce myself. I am Coach Art. I am one of the college admission coaches here at College Admission Secrets. Previously, I was 30 years in technology. I've been a coach all my life, but basically the last 20 years coaching in sports and also in life coaching with students and young professionals. Been in this game for about 7 years or more. But you know, my claim to fame is my boys. Okay, my 3 boys. So proud of them. My oldest graduated from UC Berkeley with a mechanical engineering degree. My middle one is pursuing a biology degree in Chicago, and then my youngest is going to be going to Biola. He's a senior in high school, and he is going to be playing college soccer and going into physical therapy. So, proud papa here, of course, but have helped students get into the top 20 schools in the nation, all across the nation. And I'm a parent liaison, if you want to say, because I'm a dad. And then, of course, people sometimes call me the student whisperer because I love to speak to students and talk to them about all the things they need to do for their college admissions. So let's get started with summer planning. Are you guys ready? If you are, give me a thumbs up, please. Give me a thumbs up. I want to see that you guys are, oh my gosh, amazing. Thank you so much. We're over 140 people on the call. This is incredible, and I love to see all of the thumbs up. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So I had done a little bit of a preview about the summer, and I put this up, and this is why it's so important, because it's, of course, time to rejuvenate. In most cases, there are no high school classes and no obligations, more time to concentrate on activities. And their consideration is also that summers should be considered as connected, but I will go through that in my subsequent slides, okay? So we've done so many trainings, okay? And the one thing that you have to get back to is, what are the major categories and components of the college application experience, okay? And we talk about, of course, picking your college and your major, what your academics are, what your activities, and of course, which applications. But the summer is so important across all of these, okay? It is so important. And that's what I'm going to go through today, okay? So keep in mind, college and major, academics, activities, and the application as well, okay? It looks like there's Coach Tony. I see him. Hey, Coach Tony, how you doing? Can you guys see me? You guys can still see me there? You can give me a thumbs up. And can you see what I'm sharing? Okay, awesome. Great, great, wonderful. All right. So the next thing here is, what are the goals that your students should be aiming for during the summer? Okay. First of all, with respect to college and major, you need to solidify your college and major selections. Now, I'm going to put a caveat on that because typically that would be for your rising seniors. Those that are going to be going into your senior year. But it is important as well for any students that are 9th, 10th, 11th grade that you have an idea, okay, of colleges and possible majors, because that's going to help you in figuring out your academics and your activities. For academics, you want in the summertime to get ahead or even catch up on the number of rigored courses, okay, the number of rigored courses that you are going to be taking, okay. Now, for activities, this is a time to make a significant investment in commitment towards existing or new activities. What I mean by that is being able to commit the hours, okay, and the leadership and the passion towards activities during the summertime, all right? And then lastly, with your application, okay, the actual college application is to get started and finalize the applications. And then the caveat, of course, is if you are a rising senior, okay? Everybody got that? Can I have a thumbs up on that? Can I have a thumbs up on that? Awesome. Love it. Okay, so let's get started. Let's get going. Now, this is something that Coach Tony has always preached, and I think it's a great as well. So first of all, when you're going into the summertime, it's a great time to reflect, okay, on the past year. Got to make sure you highlight your major accomplishments and milestones, and you're documenting. This is great. Use and I'll give a little special is use our tracker to keep track of all of those information. Acknowledge all of the challenges that you went through and you overcame them. And you want to make sure you jot all these down in a journal, in a sheet, in a Google Doc, or what have you that works best for you. Okay. So jot down key lessons learned, insights gained. Okay. Now, also review, assessing, and improving how you can improve based on the past year. Identify specific areas, that fall in line with your academics or activities. Think with a growth mindset, which is really, really key. Okay. Focusing on you're constantly improving and developing. How can I get 1% better? And so you guys write this down. This is a great book, Atomic Habits by James Clear. Have your students read it. It's an amazing book. And again, talking about getting 1% better is amazing and great. Okay. So now also thinking about preparing for the upcoming year, setting goals for your upcoming year. Okay. Wherever you're getting into. All right. As well as evaluating how you can plan and spend your time and be open to try new things and saying yes. Think about that. Okay. Think about all of the things that you can be doing that's brand new. Okay. Now, let's talk about, and I'm going to break this down by the categories. Summer plans for college and your major. Okay, so first of all, career and major exploration. Remember how I mentioned is that there's never a time where you can't do this as early as possible. So what we recommend is you can take some tests. Okay, this is great for even 6th all the way to 12th graders. Okay. They're fun tests, okay? There are major selection test quizzes as well as career tests. And so, for example, looking about Myers-Briggs, we have a great website called learningstylequiz.com, okay? Big Five personality test, okay? Careerexplorer.com is an amazing site that actually asks you a bunch of questions and gives you possibilities of careers that you might be involved in. Princeton Review Career Quiz, Holland Code Career Quiz. So there's a lot of tests. Get out, write these down, because especially the learningstylequiz.com and careerexplorer.com, I highly recommend those to find out about possible careers and your majors. Okay. Now, here's some tips. First of all, we always recommend find someone doing what you want to do and what you want to do or want to study. Okay, and set up an interview with them. Ask them for 15 minutes of their time, so that that you can ask them about what they do. Now, everybody always likes to talk about themselves, right? So adults want to help kids identify and talk to them about possible pain points or areas of times in their work that they may have inefficiencies, and you could possibly volunteer, okay, to help them with that. Maybe hands-on learning about your based on volunteering with them, helping them. You might get some hands-on learning, okay, about your major career. You might find yourself a volunteer opportunity, or you might even find yourself an internship opportunity, okay? And there's a lot of things that you can do with respect to building that network and talking to individuals in that possible area of study, okay? If you're not sure where to start, first of all, you always start by identifying the student's interests, strengths, and values, okay? Understand that the major doesn't necessarily equal the career, okay? So taking the major, yes, sometimes, of course, if you're going mechanical engineering, you want to be a mechanical engineer, but sometimes with your major, it doesn't, because you may be someone that goes into history, but then applies for medical school, okay? But it's things that you are passionate about and you want to learn, right? And what's really important is tap into resources like career centers and websites when you're looking at your careers or majors, okay? Now, here's a big thing. Let's talk about the actual college and campus visits. I've done a campus how to pick your major presentation. I pulled that from here so that you guys can see. If you guys are doing any college tours, okay, now I highly recommend that if you're going to do college tours, you want to do those. Typically, if you have no idea what colleges look like, okay, never had an exposure, or if you've been accepted to them, and then you just do the college tours for the ones that you've been accepted to go. But before you do a visit, here's a couple things. Reserve a spot for the campus and housing tour. Prepare questions ahead of time that you might want to ask, okay? highly recommend that you set up meetings with professors and clubs that are there that you might be interested in, because they might even give you their own private tour. Okay. Set up meetings with financial aid. Parents, really important. Make sure you do that before you do the campus visit, because a lot of times they are totally booked. Take virtual tours online ahead of time so you're more familiar with it, so that you can even be more aware when you are there on campus. And even look for overnight sessions that might be available, because that's a great way for your students to figure out how is it like during the evening times. Now, during the visit, make sure you pay attention to the campus culture, the facilities, the housing, the student support services, and the overall atmosphere to see if you, the students, get the feels, is what I call the feels, a great feeling about it. Imagine yourself as a student there and assess if it feels good. That's the feels. Sit in on a class, okay? Talk to professors and students. Don't be shy. Visit, this is really important. Visit when the college is in full session, okay? Now, it's hard during the summertime, but sometimes, again, if you go during the weekdays, students are there. It may not be as many students, but they're there. Explore the surrounding areas, of course, and then take notes. Take a lot of notes. One key thing, too, is for you parents, even in students, go around outside of the campus, look and see how outside the campus is, and then look at where the local hospital and local pharmacies are, just to see if they're in close proximity. Okay. Now, that's it for campuses and colleges. Okay, so the next thing, summer plans for your academics. Okay. All right, here we go. First of all, demonstrating academic rigor. That is one of the primary reasons. Remember how we talked about is rigor and grade trends, right? So take advantage of the summer to augment your rigor, okay? Because academic rigor, it really involves challenging yourself, okay? And so classes taken during the summer will be counted towards that academic rigor, especially because it's at the community college. And what's a great thing about taking classes at the community college, which we recommend, is to take dual enrollment classes, okay, at the community college class. Why? Because you get an opportunity that can be online. It is guaranteed college credit, and it possibly will meet a high school requirement, okay? Now, the one thing that you want to consider is not every college class will count for what you want. So it's really important that if you're looking at community college classes, you use IGETC, which are, again, the 2 to 4 year transfer requirements, okay? If you type in IGETC, and then you'll find out what classes are that fall into IGETC. Assist.org is a great website that shows you, again, all of the different classes with respect to specific community colleges. And then make sure, ratemyprofessor.com, really, really important, ratemyprofessor.com. If you're going to sign up for that course, it's really important that you go ahead and that you find out if that professor is good. You can also take online courses, okay, online education courses at UC Scout as well as BYU. Those are courses that are sponsored by the universities, and they offer you typically AP classes, okay? Now, remember, for rising seniors, again, this is usually the summer before your senior year. Remember this, the big thing is this will be the last set of grades that the colleges and universities see. So you want to end on a positive note. So that's the reason why it's really important. If you are a rising senior, you want to try to take at least 1 or 2 courses so you can show that you are maximizing everything, right, during the summertime. Okay. Now, for those that are 9 and even through 12, the key thing here is you want to take advantage of exploring your academic interests, okay? What are some subjects or topics that you are interested in learning more about, okay? This is the time to do that and to find out. If you didn't have a school, what are some subjects or topics that you would spend all day going through on Google, YouTube, Reddit, TikTok, okay? And it doesn't even necessarily have to be related to your major. Just what are some topics that you're interested in so that you can start finding out possibly areas that you might go into with respect to your major or career, okay? Now, here is a list of online learning resources to dive deeper into those particular topics, okay? But what we recommend is do not go and pay for any credentials like, certificates or so. Just go ahead and learn, okay? So you can see your Coursera, edX, Khan Academy, YouTube, Udemy, Code Academy, Skillshare, Udacity, LinkedIn Learning, amazing online learnings that will provide you with exposure to find out your academic interests, okay? There's also, let's talk about specialized summer programs, okay? Now, there may be some summer programs that your child might be interested in, but you really got to ask, if you could not put this on your application, on your college application, would you still want to participate? Okay. And if you could you pay for the total program right now without causing too much financial stress? Because if you answer yes to those two questions, then go ahead and keep exploring. And the reason why is you don't want to do something just because you want to put it on your application. You want to do it because you're passionate about it, and it's providing you with something that gives you that feeds your interests and passions. Okay. Now, there's also research opportunities. So let's be honest here. Okay. High school students, are they really doing research? 99% of the time, your child is just going to be doing data collection, data entry, or basic analysis. So that's the reason why sometimes, research programs are great. Okay. But, sometimes, again, it depends on what they're doing, right? But here's an example that's a good one. Independent research project like the Intel International Science and Engineering Fair, okay? Or find research, mentorship, okay, and guidance from, let's say, the people that you reached out with respect to professors, okay, or professionals in the area that might be that are aligned to your interests and passions, okay? Now, here's a big thing, and this is coming up now, okay? Is SAT and ACT test preparation, okay? So it's really important now that schools are starting to get back into the SAT, ACT groove. As you know, the Ivy Leagues have announced that they are going to now put in or required for 2025s, the SAT, ACT. So most of if we're talking about the UC campuses, they're still test blind. You can't even submit it, okay? So, and the one thing that we kind of think about is, remember, SAT is a test that tests you on your ability to take tests, not necessarily your knowledge, okay? Now, of course, you have to have some knowledge, but normally there's so many people that can game the system just because they learn how to take the test versus really have knowledge about it, okay? But the key thing with respect to test preparation, again, why you should be considering, studying for the SAT is because most of our students are not just going to the UCs and CSUs, but they're also going for other schools across the nation. Okay. And there are certain colleges that will award merit-based scholarships based on your SAT, ACT score. Okay. And that's like, for example, National Merit Scholar. Okay. And as I mentioned there, high PSAT score, the highest is 1520, will put you in the running for National Merit Scholar consideration. And when you get that, then the schools come running, and they also provide a lot of merit-based scholarships. Okay. So our recommendation is, to take the SAT, or a reason for taking the SAT is if you need to make up for your academic performance. So if your academic performance is a little lower, having a high SAT score may offset that a bit. Okay. Or give a reason for the reader to say, okay, this person is smart enough. Also, if you are applying to test required schools, or if you are a strong test taker, then we recommend to take the SAT, ACT, okay? But what we recommend you do is you take a sample test, a full practice sample test, okay, recommended for high school juniors. And what you want to do is you want to make sure you take each section according to the time limits, or go to a diagnostic center and take a time test. And most importantly, practice. Just keep taking past SATs, okay, so that you can get so used to it that it's like the back of your hand, okay? Now, let's see here. So, summer plans for activities. So here's a couple things. You want to make sure you double down activities. So, priority-wise, if we were going to rank what's most important in that whole process that I told you about, academics, activities, and applications, okay? Academics is the lowest priority. Okay, still important, but it's the lowest priority out of the three. Activities is the second most important. Okay, it's a little higher. So summer activities still count, and activities are again is the second most important factor of college admissions, especially during the summer when there's no school. This is really a time to utilize and deepen your involvement in the activities. Okay, and especially introduce yourself to new ones. So above all, choose activities that are aligned with your interests and passions. Okay, I can't tell you this enough, and I know we keep on repeating this, but it's so true. Choose the activities you're passionate about, because why? You'll do the hours. Okay, you'll do the actual hours that it takes for the commitment that they're looking for. And secondly, what you'll do is that you will put the hours in to drive and become a leader in that. Okay, so I would rather have a student be involved in something they're truly interested in versus something that looks good. Okay, that's truly the case. Now, the key thing here is when you're doing the activities, document all your activities, roles and responsibilities, and your hourly commitments, because you're going to have to post those on the applications. Okay, it's much easier to do this now during the break and not after the fact when you're a senior and you forget everything. Okay, now here's the big thing: personal projects. Probably everybody has heard about. If you've heard about personal projects, can you please give me a thumbs up? I want to make sure you guys are still there. Can you please give me a thumbs up? Okay. We have now hit the 200 mark. Amazing. That's awesome. So, okay. So this is the big thing. Probably before COVID, and a little bit before that is a big thing was internships and, research projects or so. Those are still great. And the reason why is because they can give you some good experience. But sometimes they're very hard and difficult to find and get. Or secondly, the things that you do may not be under your control. But personal projects are, because personal projects are student initiated and student run. Okay. And so how do you develop a personal project? Well, first of all, what are you passionate about? Okay. Students out there, what are you passionate about? What's the problem? And you can see, can you see kind of a trend, passion, right? We don't do what everyone else does and pick the format before the passion. So people tend to start saying this: I want an internship, I want to do the research. Okay, I want to do research, but okay, they don't necessarily know how to do that. So starting your personal project, first of all, plan your work and work your plan. I love this. This is my phrase: plan the work and work the plan. Okay. First of all, establish a unique mechanism that will execute through your personal project. So figure out a plan that you can follow throughout the whole thing. And this is the one thing that I want to make sure is, and you'll see that in my second bullet here: think multi-year, okay, versus 1 year. This is not just, I'm doing a personal project this summer. You want to link those together. That's why connect your summers. So even if the ninth graders, you're going into the summer before your fresh sophomore year, think about that. This personal project can follow you this summer, then the summer after your your sophomore year, and the summer after your senior year. And they all connect. And as it goes along, they grow and grow and grow. That looks amazing on your application. And the schools love to see that. Okay. Utilizing your resources to help you execute the plan. Okay. When you're talking about creating a personal project, you got to answer the questions: who, what, where, when, and how. Okay. Who are you doing this project for, right? Who's your audience? What are you going to be doing? Where are you going to be doing it, right? When are you going to be starting this? Is it, again, multi-years, 1 year? And how are you going to execute on this? Okay, really, really important. Okay, so again, readers care about why, how, and who you are. Okay, the readers, the college application readers. But remember, it's not so much of what you actually do, but it's why you're doing it. How is it making you who you are? Who have you become because of this result? It is the journey of the personal project, not necessarily the result. And that's what's important about a personal project. So it can be anything, okay? It could be a research project. It could be you helping the community. There's so many examples of, for example, creating a soccer camp, okay, to help less fortunate kids. You can do a workshop on teaching kids about environmental science and art. You could do a research project. I know one kid that we did a research project because he loves watching sports. So he's gathering data and creating a computer application program to analyze the data. It could be anything that you want as long as it's passionate, if you're passionate about it, okay? Now, let's take a little break. I know I've talked a lot about the three areas so far. So I just wanted to remind you, okay, a little break here. College application intensive. All the things that we talked about, you know, about our activities and the academics or so are going to be rolled into the application. So it's so important because the application is the most important part of the process. Well, we at College Admission Secrets, we offer the application intensive. What is it? It's a 2-day workshop, usually on Saturday and Sunday. We start in July, we go till September. It's a small group where we fly in our coaches and we work with our students one-on-one on their applications, their UC, CSU common applications, and a maximum of 5 supplements, okay? You get pre-event homework, and we have some live office hours actually starting in April and going into May into June, okay? Now, here is us, myself, here's Coach David, here's Coach Tony, individually working with the students on their applications, okay? We have these dates all over here, starting in July: San Jose, Berkeley, Davis, Irvine, San Diego, Long Beach, Los Angeles, San Jose, Ontario. So if you want to sign up for those, okay, and these are all confirmed, what I need you to do is I need you to text weekend, okay, at 415-938-8721. Again, text weekend at 415-938-8721, because this is really a way to kickstart your students, your application process. Especially, again, this is only for seniors, rising seniors. This is a great way for you to kickstart this application process and really head you to the right direction, okay? Now, so let's get to what we were just talking about, your college application, okay? Summer plans for college application. Remember, academics, amazing. Activities, amazing. All of those you're working on during the summer. But when you get to become a rising senior, you need to think about your college application. So for rising seniors, college is just ahead. What are we looking for? Prepare for college applications. So applications typically open August 1st. That's for the UC and CSU applications and the common and coalition applications, okay? That's another form of applications. Now, early action and early decision deadlines are between October to early November, but we always dictate finish your apps for early action, early decision by October 1st. For the UCs and the CSUs, the application deadline is November 30th, but we always say finish them by November 1st. And for your regular decision deadlines, between December to January, and some maybe into February, finish them by December 1st so that you can go ahead and have fun, do your senior year, and get them done. But typically, if you're working them and starting them the way we do it in our program, in the college application intensive and our programs, we start in June, we work through the whole summer, and it gets and you're pretty much done usually by September, October. Okay. Now, here is a to-do list on working with your applications. First of all, of course, identify your colleges and majors. Got to have that because you don't need to know how many applications you're working on, what are the prompts or the essays you need to work on. Academics wise, you need to make sure and get your transcripts, which what you want to do is you want to copy exactly verbatim what is on your transcripts to the application itself. It's very, very important. So you need to get a hold of your transcripts from all of the schools that you've taken it, okay? For activities, they're going to ask you what you did and how long you did it. So it's very important. That's the reason why, again, tracking of all your stuff, even from 9th grade on, all the way, if you're tracking them along the way, to figure out how many hours per week, okay, and how many weeks per year you have invested in that, and then what you did, okay? Now, you will be filling out personal statements and personal insight questions, okay? So the personal statement is typically for the Common App, personal PIQs are for the UCs. There's also sections like additional comment sections and supplemental questions that you may have to answer. And the biggest thing is letter of recommendation interviews. It's really important that for you, especially if you're a rising senior, meaning juniors right now, 2025ers, you ask for your letters of recommendation from the people you're going to ask for before you leave this for summer break. It's really important. Make sure you give them a brag letter or a resume and mention to them what you want them to talk about within your particular recommendation. But ask them now so that one, they may be able to work on it during the summer, or two, you'll be first in line in right when you get back, because there's going to be hundreds of students that normally, especially for the more popular teachers, hundreds of students, again, for math, science and English, that are going to have so many recommendations, and you don't want them to be generic. You want them to be as personal as possible. Okay, so here is a plan. Okay, put a really high level plan for June, July, and August. Okay, here's a plan. You guys ready for it? Can you guys give me a thumbs up if you guys are there and you're ready for it? Can I see a thumbs up? All right, cool. All right, so here's a timeline. First of all, June timeline. Make sure you enroll and start attending summer classes, dual enrollment, or educational programs like UC Scout, BYU, Apex, or so. It's very important, and these are some of the things that we work on in College Admission Secrets to help you pick those type of those classes. Continue on with the activities you are passionate about. I know I've talked about this passionate, but this is a time to maximize those hours during the summer. In June, you should continue on or start something new. Find out about something new, okay? Another key thing is start building your networks with mentors, professors, professionals in your area of interest. Contact them, email them, look them up in LinkedIn or on the college websites, and find out those that are in your area and start contacting and network them. Again, something that we help out in the CAS programs. Develop your plan for personal projects. Again, plan the work and work the plan. Go with the suggestions. Again, something that we also help. And if you want to schedule your college tours, this is a great way to see it. Now, normally, again, I say the best time to look at college tours is during the fall and the spring because students are there. But if you don't have the time, the best thing is if you are going to go on vacation, okay, and this is a great tip that someone gave me a long time ago. If you go on vacation, see if there are colleges close to that and do like an hour, 2-hour trip to those colleges that are part of your vacation, okay? It makes it really simple and easy, and you're killing two birds with one stone, right? Now, for rising seniors, very important, request letters of recommendation before you go off for summer break, okay? Start your application essays now in June and sign up for either our CAS College Application Intensive or join our program, and it's included. And lastly, study and take the SAT, AC-10, but no later than August for those rising seniors. And the reason why is because the last test in August is the last one where you'll receive your scores in time to be able to report it in your application. Okay, so that's June. July, first of all, continue attending your summer classes, of course, and make sure that you do well in those, okay? Continue with your activities that you're passionate about. Those are the same thing as June. Those don't change, and continue to research and find out and experience new things. Now, next thing, because you were looking at particular people in June, now set up and conduct the interviews with your networks, okay? And make sure you set up a regular communication cadence, okay? And you're asking them about and telling them about what you're interested in, some questions you may have, even present to them your personal project, and they may be able to help you with that personal project, okay? Execute on the plans of your personal projects. Remember, connect the summers, okay? So this is really important that if you're doing something your freshman year, then you connect that in your sophomore and junior year, okay? And you're continuing, it's getting bigger. Visit, of course, as I mentioned again, visit colleges. Now, for rising seniors, this is really important. By the end of July, you should have at least all your first drafts completed for your application essays. and also attend one of, CAS college application intensive, or join our program. Now, by the end of July, okay, and again, this is a marker for you, just so you guys know. All right, because if you were working on it in June, July, you should have at least your first drafts now. And then, of course, continue to study and take the SATs if you have signed up for it, but no later than August. Now, the August timeline, you want to now complete your summer classes, okay, and finish strong, get good grades in those, okay. Secondly, now you want to start looking at the new year that you're coming into and figure out and complete an academic and activity plan for the new school year, okay? What are the classes you're going to take? What are the things that you are planning to do in activities? How are you going to become a leader in that, okay? How are also in August is looking at the academic classes you're taking. Maybe you're prepping for them, okay? Reading up on them, okay? Getting used to them, okay? This is something you could do even in June, is if you know you're going to be taking a hard class in August or starting in August, that you're prepping for that along the way, right? Set up your regular cadence, as I mentioned, with your networks. Wrap up any tasks and plan for continuation of your personal projects into the fall and spring. And of course, I mentioned visit colleges. And this is a good time too, because if you have time in August, you could visit those in August, and they'll already, as some of these colleges start early. And so you could see how it is being there, when they're there. For rising seniors, some indications by beginning of August, you should have all of your colleges and majors picked, okay? That's really important because, finalizing that, okay? You should have them picked early on, but again, you should have definitive, right? You should have several drafts of your essays that should be underway, okay, and have been edited or so. Continue, of course, to study and take the SAT, ACT. Make sure you record all your activities and classes you took during the summer. It's really, really important. And then when you get back to school, follow up on your letters of recommendation to make sure that, one, the teacher or mentors didn't forget about you, but two, also to remind them to get those for you, okay? So who wants a freebie? Who wants a freebie? People are asking. Well, guess what? Here are the freebies that I can give out to you all, okay? Going to give you a digital SAT study schedule, which is great because, again, it's important for studying for SATs. Some of you, I think, asked the question about, hey, how can I track my activities? Well, we're going to give you the UC Activity Tracker, okay? And then lastly, because it's so important and so many people have asked, personal project planning guide, okay? So giving you not just one, but 3. So if you want them, please type in, okay, let's see, summer. Type in summer. And what I want you to do is I want you to text 415-938-8721, and I want you to type in summer, okay? I know that you're typing it in here, but text it to us, 415-938-8721, summer, and we'll get those out to you, okay? 415-938-8721, summer. Now, if you are interested in looking and wanting to join our programs, and you want to have a free assessment, okay, with our college admissions advisor, okay, send us a text at 415-938-8721 with the word book, B-O-O-K, or if you want to join our college application intensive, which again, all the things I'm talking about, we will review those. Weekend, type in weekend. Or if you want to do the 3, type in book, weekend, and summer, and we'll get you everything, okay? So the number is 415-938-8721. I'm going to also type it in the chat, 415-938-8721, okay? So go ahead and text that to us, and we will go ahead and get you we will get you all the information you need, okay? 415-938-8721. Text us summer, book, and weekend. All right. So with that said, I got about 5 minutes here. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the questions that you guys sent to me, which is great. So thank you so much here. So the first thing is it okay to ask 2 social studies teachers, AppGov and AppUS, for letters of rec? I'll be a poli-sci major and they both know me. Of course, go ahead and ask the number of teachers. Again, it doesn't mean that you may use them, but it's great because you want to go ahead and ask for those people, especially that know you very well and that can be personalized. Because with letters of recommendation, if the readers see that it's a standard kind of letter of recommendations, then they pass through it fairly quickly. But if there's a personal piece, it's again another piece of your application that shows who you are. So that's why with the letters of recommendation, you always want to provide either a brag sheet or resume, meaning all of things you've done. And I usually tell them give a little bit of a letter there, like a cover letter, so that says and gives them like little tidbits of things that you did in the class. Let's say maybe you ran a project, or maybe you got an A in a particular, and tell them that, because they don't remember. They have so many students. Tell them what it is that you did and remind them, and so that they can reference that and say, hey, Johnny, he had an amazing project where he led the students, and see that is personal. Okay. All right. Let's see here. So can you talk about the difference between community college and UC Scout class? Yes. Okay. So again, UC Scout is an educational program that's online. Okay. There's also BYU or Apex. Those are also other examples in which they offer similar high school classes like AP classes. Now, the one thing with that is that it's the same kind of class that you'd see in high school, the AP classes. That's the only one you want to take. But the thing is that, remember, they're AP classes. So let's say you're taking them during the summer. What happens is you're going to have to take the AP exam in the spring. So basically, if you take it during the summer, you're not going to be able to get to the AP exam in 6 months. But that's okay. You just have to study along the way. Versus at community college, you're taking the courses, you're getting the credit. Okay. Now, the key thing here is both UC Scout or BYU and community college classes, they both have the same weight. They have the maximum weight for rigor. Okay, so that's the reason why we always encourage you can take community college or UC Scout. Sometimes community college is a little bit better just because you immediately get the credit. Okay, versus UC Scout, you take the AP course. Of course, you're taking the rigor, which is great in showing them, but you have to take the AP exam. Okay. Is there a list of iGETC courses for specific community college, or is it a general list? Yes, there is a list. Well, there is a list of the courses that would be under assist.org, assist.org. Okay, go under assist.org, and what you can do is you can go ahead and pick the community college that you are looking for, and then click iGETC, and then what happens is that will actually show what courses are there. Okay, in under that specific community college. Okay. If you qualify to become a National Merit Scholar and at the very least receive a letter of commendation, can you still put this award on UC Apps? Obviously not the score. Yes. Yes, you can. Absolutely. That's amazing because that's an award. So you can do that as a National Merit Scholar. And I'll tell you that I encourage all the kids and everyone out there, if you can become a National Merit Scholar, it holds a lot of weight. A lot of schools will be knocking on your door to actually apply. Okay. What do the parents do during the intensive? Do they stay or go? Okay, so during our college application intensives, parents are welcome. You can listen. We encourage not to be too interfering, and I hate to say the word interfering, because a lot of the students, again, we like to work with them one-on-one with our coaches. But if you're able to help, give some suggestions or so. But we always ask for the parents to kind of sit back, listen, enjoy, or so. But you don't need to stay. You can go if you want, drop them off, or you can stay and listen in, because a lot of parents find it informational as well. Okay. Okay, what virtual weekends are left for intensive weekend? Okay, all of the virtual weekends are rolled in with the they're all available, but they're rolled in with our on-site. So you'll have to take a look at that. I believe one's in Davis and one's in Los Angeles. Okay. Do you have to take the AP test to get credit for courses like UC Scout BYU? I was planning on taking pre-calc there because I tried doing them and all that. Okay. Yes, you do have to take the AP exam. If you take an AP course on UC Scout or BYU, you will get, of course, a grade for that. But then in order to get the college credit for it, you have to take the college test. I mean, the AP exam, okay? Again, remember, that's like if you take it during the summer, then you're going to be taking the AP exam 6 months later, okay? Okay, let's see here. Please tell us about scholarship essays and letters from teachers. Do we ask general letters, particular? Okay, so it all depends. Scholarship letters, I get it, understand. Still, I would still gather general letters, but the key thing is how to personalize it. If you know for the scholarships and they have a particular subject or so, you can ask the teachers to make a personalized. That's even better. So that it pertains to about the particular topic that you're looking for that scholarship. But if not, then the general letters are fine. That's the reason why I like those brag sheets, resumes, and even a cover letter that mentions what to mention, just because the key thing is making sure that they are personalized, okay? What does OS community colleges will credit transfer word? Okay. So if you are, let's say in Massachusetts, there is equivalent, okay, there's an equivalent requirement like IGETC. So IGETC is California based, but you want to look for transferability, transferability requirements in your state, okay? And there's always, all states have them. All states have the transferability requirements for a 2 to 4 year, and they will have similar sites as well to look for what credit transfers, okay? So make sure you look at that, okay? If I take stats at community college, do I still take the AP exam? No, so if you're taking statistics at the community college, you don't need to take the AP exam because you're already gaining maximum credit, maximum rigored credit, right? Because you've taken the stats at community college. So you're just going to grade and you get the college credit already. So you don't need to take the AP exam. Let's see, IGETC is only for California students. Self-studying for AP, CSA versus taking AP from Musica, which ones? Okay. So there's been a question about this usually, and then this will probably, I think this is my last question. Yeah. So taking AP courses versus taking the exam. Okay. So we always say you don't ever want the readers to say, huh, or take a pause, huh. Meaning, if you take the AP course, but you don't take the exam, that's going to give reader a pause. Well, why didn't you? Or if you take the AP exam, but you don't take the course, they're going to say, huh, why didn't you do that? The reason why is because these are two different things. Taking the AP course shows that you're taking the rigor, that you went through the rigor of the course. So that indicates to the college that you were able to take on that rigor at the college level. Now, the only reason for taking the AP exam is so you get credit towards the college, okay? So that when you go in, then you're not spending money on a course that you've already invested in high school, okay? Now, I will tell you there are some colleges that even though you take the AP exam and you get a 5 or so, that they may not accept it and they may have you take it over again. That's the risk sometimes. But again, if you take the AP exam, which you should, even if you don't do well, you still should report it, but take the AP exam. So this allows you, again, this allows you to go ahead and make sure that 1, you show them that you took the rigor, and 2, that you were able to finish, that you were able to get the credit, okay? So again, so thank you so much. Oh, okay, so let's see one more. I'll take one more. If a student got a low grade in summer school, will it hurt the G? No, it won't. If you're taking it in community college, if it's not corresponding to your high school, if it's not posting on your high school, you won't show it will show on the transcript for the college, but it won't show your transcript on your high school. Okay. So with that, thank you so much. I appreciate it. You guys are amazing. We reached over 200 people on this particular site. Remember, if you see what I said here, Text us 415-938-8721. Text us book if you want to book a free assessment. Text us weekend if you want to join us for our California college application intensive. Text us summer if you want to have the freebies. Okay. So thank you so much for joining. I greatly appreciate it. You guys are always so awesome. This is why we do it, because we love helping students getting to their dream colleges and being successful in the future. So thank you again for joining. You guys are always so amazing. Please join us every Tuesday at the same time. Okay. And have a wonderful rest of your week. We'll talk to you later. Coach Art out.